Egypt. When you hear the word Egypt, do you think of pharaohs and riches and glamorous temples? Or do you think of the desert? Or do you think of the guardian sphinx? Or do you think of the slaves and the warriors in loincloths with spears coming to fight the Hyksos? For most, they think of the three pyramids. Today we will be focusing on the biggest one, the Great Pyramid, which happens to be one of the ancient wonders of the world. We will touch base on the history of how pyramids came to be in Egypt. We will go through the construction and how they think that the pyramid was built. And we will also touch base on the reasons as to why it is considered an ancient wonder. Before we dive into the making of the Great Pyramid, let us first examine how pyramids came to be. In an article published by Mark Milmore from DiscoveringEgypt.com, Sneferu, the 4th dynasty king, was the first to build any pyramids. He built 3 in the course of his lifetime. His first was very unstable, and it was named the Step Pyramid. As you can see, the limestone slipped very early on in the project, and the project was abandoned. His second pyramid is named the Bent Pyramid. It is called this because halfway through the project, they realized that the pyramid's corners were built on unstable ground, and they had to change their calculations and finish the pyramid in a way that they didn't intend to. That project was also abandoned because Sneferu was not happy with it. His last pyramid was the Red Pyramid. This pyramid he was buried in, and it was given its name, the Red Pyramid, because of the red limestone that was used in its construction. Khufu was Sneferu's son, and he was the pharaoh of the Great Pyramid. He ruled for 23 years, and he was either a cruel or traditional leader. There's quite a lot of controversy as to which one he was. According to BBC News, in an article titled Khufu, a Greek historian named Herodotus spoke of him being a terrible leader and even being so cruel as to prostitute his daughter when his money ran low. According to the Westcar Papyrus, though, a hieroglyphics found in Egypt, he was considered a very traditional leader. Many think slaves were used to build the Great Pyramid, but this would not be the case if Khufu was indeed a traditional leader. Peasants would have been contracted for about 20 years, working 3 months a year while the Nile was flooded and the farms were unable to be farmed. In this time, there were two stages of construction. The first was alignment, and the second one was the actual building of the pyramid. According to BBC News, in an article by Dr. Ian Shaw, 2 tools were used for the alignment. The Merket, according to Mary McMahon and Harris Bronwyn from wisegeek.com, a Merket uses the North Star to establish a north-south meridian. And then a bay would have been used to create straight lines and right angles. The theories as to how they were actually constructed include 2 main ones. First, they would have needed to quarry the stones in quarries from across the Nile and use barges to get the stones over the Nile. In the first theory, a series of ramps would have been used. One theory is that the ramp would have been a straight ramp up to the next level of the pyramid. The next theory is that the ramp would have wound around the pyramid as they got higher and higher until they reached the top, and then all the dirt would have been removed. The second theory is cementation. Professor Michel Barsoum from the Department of Materials Science and Engineering at Drexel University did tests on the limestone on the actual pyramid and found that the limestone is actually composed differently than natural limestone. Therefore, we have the theory of them using an early form of cementation. Now that we have gone over how the Great Pyramid was made, let us examine why it is considered an ancient wonder. The size and accuracy of the pyramid astounds even modern engineers. The size covers 13 acres of ground, according to Jen Rosenberg at geography.about.com. Each side is approximately 756 feet long, and the pyramid itself is composed of 2.3 million blocks, each block weighing 2.5 tons on average, the biggest one weighing 15 tons. That is enough stone to build a 1-foot wide, 12-foot high wall around the entire country of France. Also, the accuracy astounds most modern engineers. Each corner is almost an exact 90-degree angle, and each side is aligned with a cardinal direction. It is because of these facts that it is considered an ancient wonder of the world. The other ancient wonders are the Colossus of Rhodes, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, Lighthouse of Alexandria, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, and the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. But what is different about the Great Pyramid? The significance is that none of these other ancient wonders are still intact today. They have all been destroyed, all but one, which is the Great Pyramid of Giza.